Greetings viewers of the YouTube, this is Power1X doing his personal views of the Archie comics so far. Okay, this story thing has started up from 219 up to the recent day. The reason why I'm saying from issue 219 is when Jeffrey Sir John betrayed Sonic and went to Nuggets. And then the issue after that, he used the Chaos Emerald that he backstabbed Sonic over to restore Nuggets' mind. And then in issue 221 is where the concert and Nuggets used this magic to amplify people's hatred over Nicole, which is led to his advantage. And of course I think it also made Mina regret doing that song that Nuggets used as a cover to amplify the citizens' emotions. And then in issue 222 was Sonic's date, and people were still whining and bitching over Nicole, even though there was some that knows it wasn't her fault that she was controlled by the Iron Queen, while others are still blind as heck. And then in issue 223 is where Nuggets tries to claim the crown and reveals his presence as well. And that's also when we discovered that, well, Sonic and his friends discovered that Jeff is an excess wizard specializing in wind power magic. And then in issue 24 is when Nuggets starts the debate with the council and Sonic doing the fighting with the Sword of Light. That we all know. And also the refusion of Eggman's Death Egg Mark II. And of course in the issue 225 is where they start the battle against Eggman once again, and winds up at the end of Sally being killed. Yes, that's what we all know. And Eggman activated the reset button of the cosmic variety. And we spent about 4 issues from 226 to 229 in an alternate reality of Sega styled. Well, most Sega styled, what with the Green Hill Zone and the upper zones, and with the classic Eggman. And then all it took was Super Sonic to restore things back to normal. And that's where 230 comes in. That started the coming downfall of the Sonic and the Flame Fires, with the refusion of the world with Buttersizer. Even though Sonic saved Sally from getting gunned down and had Silver Sonic 2.3 take the blast. As I was saying, and of course we feel that the Cosmic Reset button wipes out the immunity, but until the recent 236 we feel that the Cosmic Reset only wiped out half of the planet's immunity to the War Buttersizer. And Eggman's knows and exploiting what had happened way back in the early Sally Akon spin-off issues, revealing what happens when a robot or anything else that's already mechanical gets thrown in the robot sizer, which is turned on. It goes kaboom. That means the entire Nanite City, Sonic's father, and Bunny Rampart, which was she still had her robotic arms and legs at the time, will also go boom. And that includes Nicole as well. She was in the Nanite, so she pretty much counts. All it takes was Sally sacrificing herself by having Nicole rerouting the Robotizer beam back to the chamber, and having Nicole transfer herself out of her handheld body to the nanites in the city, and cause some major damage to the Death Egg, making the Eggman's Robotizer kaput, out of commission, but at the price of Sally being roboticized, and with Nicole's handheld, which is her original body for all these years, being destroyed. And with Sonic kicked out, and Eggman dropping the 2 robots, the Titan Metal Sonic and Deadly Cuddy, but only one of them was pretty much destroyed, which we all know was Titan Metal Sonic, with Nuggets crystallizing it and having it take the hit of Death Egg's little bit laser beam. But at the price of Bunny getting caught in Nuggets' crystallization beam, causing her robotic left arm and legs getting crystallized. And then in issue 232 is where Nuggets was claimed king, uses magic to restore Bunny's arms and legs. He was attempting just to remove the crystal off her robotic arms and legs, but didn't realize his magic was stronger than he thought, which restored her arms and legs to flesh and blood, which is basically went useless. I don't know where Bunny's gonna go from there, but well, we pretty much know what happened after in issue 235, where she ran off after Antoine wound up in a coma in issue 234. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. In issue 233 is where they had the trial of Jeffrey and John, where we had some hints of what happened to Hershey the cat. And from the past issues we've seen, Jeffrey was actually doing those things for Nagas, preparations as it were. And also not to mention that while Antoine did win that case and proved Jeffrey guilty, Nagas had to butt in and gave Jeffrey a pardon, basically giving him an Oscar-free. But before issue 43 actually took place, the Sonic Universe issues, 4 Sonic issues that involved the Battle murder, invading New Metropolis and blasting a big hole in the city just to get the Babylon Garden, which so happens to have been buried deep beneath the city all this time. And it was, well, the city was originally built by Adam, which is Eggman's little virus, who originally controlled the nanites. He was trying to tap into the Babylon Garden, because he was the only one that knew about the garden first. Tried to, failed, so we all know what his alternative one was. And now back to issue 234. In the side story before the main one, we find out that Nagas uses Chaos Emerald to make contact with Eggman, talking about reminiscing about a certain event, and then Nagas tipped Eggman off about Elise leaving the city. And then in the main story, we all see the battle and seen what Eggman has done to Sally, Weaponizer, and we got the look at Mecha Sally's firepower that Eggman gave her, with the rocket boots that's required for any robot, I guess, for him, and with some blades that come out of her arms, kind of a Wolverine thing, but only with one blade. And Sally his friends were being too much cowards to actually do any damage, because it was still Sally after all. And Sally took out the tornado again. Honestly, Tails should build a plane that's more powerful than the tornado, because that plane keeps getting blasted down or knocked out of the sky. If anyone else noticed this, that Tails' tornado keeps getting blasted all down, honestly, money doesn't grow on trees for Tails when it comes to buying parts for the tornado. Ugh. Anyway, Eggman had Metal Sonic targeted targeted Elise. Antoine intersected it. Eggman decided to have Metal Sonic do the kaboom in Antoine's face, point blank, and we all thought Antoine might die from that, but unfortunately he pulled through by being in a coma and have the power ring as life support. I guess Bunny doesn't want Antoine to wind up like King Maximilian, with being in a wheelchair for the rest of his life and gone bonkers. Maximilian should deserve death. After all, he's partially the reason why Eggman was causing so much chaos so many years ago. So anyway, Bunny was being so upset because she was completely useless in the battle in issue 234, and so she left a note and ran off. Now, I've been hearing that people are saying that she's going to be running off to her uncle to get legionized. Well, let's think of this way. What makes Bunny thinks that his uncle would give her the cybernetics without the bombs and mind control chips, or even if her uncle even knows the bombs and the mind control were even in the cybernetics, or even if mind control chips in the people that does the legionize activate and place the bombs and the mind control chip in Bunny's cybernetics without her uncle even noticing, or Bunny herself, by the way, and she might become another Dark Legionnaire, mind controlled mostly. So anyway, and not only that, Silver comes into the frame, but this time to stay, which is a hallelujah for the Silver fans in issue 244, but the issue was still a very sad note, but it still had a big happy note for the Silver fans, with Silver coming in to stay. Silver thought that it was Antoine due to he found the journal, but he thought he found the traitor within it, but due to the words wither away in time, made him think it was Antoine that was the traitor. And of course, when Sonic found the note, he decided that basically saying that Eggman has won, the theme fights are done. And also, Nicole's been exiled thanks to the votes of the council, all except Mulder. I'm surprised that Uncle Chuck voted in for this. I thought that Uncle Chuck was Nicole's friend, but he used the excuse of just to put people at ease because of Nicole. He voted for Nicole's exile. Traitor. Rhoda was the smartest one in the council by quitting, because I'm guessing Rhoda's still Nicole's friend and protects her. I guess Uncle Chuck's not as quite as a friend to Nicole as we all thought. And that goes for Tails' mom as well. Both of them traitors. But using the excuse of the people needs to be put at first. And now to the most recent issue. Eggman terrorizing Furville after the Scramble arc. With Killbot and Orbot there, it really gives me pretty much certainty that